Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in a series between Lucifer and Orc here on Secret Valley. Gonna go ahead and speed things up as we see Lucifer spawning as the yellow undead player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, OrcWorker spawning as the purple orc on the top right. Now, I am a little bit surprised at the map selection by Lucifer, as normally players, orc players like this map a lot, so I'm not quite sure what to make of this. As we see, it will be your typical Blade Master against Death Knight matchup. Wait, what? It looks like it could be a Death Knight matchup, or he could do a last-minute swap, or it could be a Crypt Fiend opening. That's what it appears to be, as we also see the Voodoo Lounge being built off to the north. Alright, Voodoo Lounge off to the north, as we see the Blade Master going after the Ogre Magi here. Will pick up a relatively useful item early on. Gonna go ahead and take him down. There he goes, picks up, can he pick it up? Oh, Potion of Invulnerability, and now making his rounds. What's going to be happening next? Voodoo Lounge is already in the center. OrcWorker already ready to heal back up, as we can see the Crypt Fiend going after the Null Brute, and this Null over here getting in a little bit of damage, trying to get an early start on some creeping, as this is a very old school opening that I haven't seen in quite some time. The Crypt Fiends, where they start creeping after the Null Brutes early on, while staying on Blight so that they don't actually take too much damage. Gonna go ahead and take that down. Not quite sure, why don't you just use the Death Coil on the Crypt Fiend instead, as we see the Blade Master has finished up and picked up another easy level 1 kill there. OrcWorker already getting a bit ahead in terms of experience. Death Knight only sitting at 48 experience. Meanwhile, the Blade Master sitting at 112, as both sides are just trying to get a gauge and a feel for each other. There is going to be a lot of Crypt Fiends, as we are taking the Halls of the Dead already. Stronghold has already been researched by the OrcWorker, so we are going to be getting into Tier 2 relatively quickly. Now, what I am surprised though is that OrcWorker is still trying to put down pressure here in game number 2, when in game number 1, he just went out and creeped every which creep camp that he could, getting a little bit of an experience advantage. However, if Lucifer is able to keep that experience gap up to Tier 2 relatively low, the Blade Master is not going to be nearly as strong. The Blade Master normally tries and harasses by himself, while the Shadow Hunter pops out, and the Shadow Hunter then tries to do a little bit of creeping with a few grunts. But a level 1 Blade Master is not nearly as scary as, say, a level 3. Alright, Blade Master now sitting at level 2 has just the right amount of experience. Stronghold still being upgraded. Same thing with Halls of the Dead, as we're looking at a relatively fortified or extremely fortified base by Lucifer. Now, another thing to note on this particular map, there are no Goblin Laboratories, so there is really no chance of a Goblin Zeppelin dropping inside the map back over here, and that's one of the things that you need to be very aware of. If you know that there is no chance of say, any sort of Zeppelin play, then you can really wall off your entire gold mine as an undead player and not have to worry about it nearly as much. The worst thing is when you wall off your base here, and say for some reason the Blade Master is able to drop in here, take it down. The only way to get inside is to really staff a teleportation in, or upgrade these Ziggurats into Spirit Towers and hope that they deal enough damage. Grunt still wandering around back over here. Meanwhile, Blade Master going after some easy targets. Death Knight still sitting at level 1. And while you're on Blight, it is pretty much going to be near impossible to deal enough damage to that Crypt Fiend, especially with that Death Knight nearby, to heal before the Blade Master's own hit points become in jeopardy too. And Burrow now being researched. We are taking a look. No slaughterhouse, but I do expect one to be built or summoned right there in just a moment. Halls of the Dead now done. Lich is being added. Grunts, on the other hand, back over here, and actually in a very terrible spot. That one skeletal minion may actually get a kill here, and that would be absolutely hilarious. Just trapping the units in the back. So one grunt gets taken down, a second grunt gets taken down, and this is just an absolute nightmare for OrcWorker, who is going to be able to finish this off finally but not before losing 2 grunts. That is a big deal. Meanwhile, the Death Knight on the other side, getting to level 2, hasn't lost any Crypt Fiends. And let's take a look at the supply count, 34 over 40 compared to 33 over 40. I am quite surprised that the Undead is not higher up in terms of supply at this stage, just because of the 2 lost grunts. Crypt Fiends now making their way over here. Let's take a look. 172 gold compared to 166. It almost seems like those 2 lost grunts are just a drop in the bucket, as things still feel relatively even. Crypt Fiend absorbing or taking a lot of damage from that red Drake. You can see that Burrow has been researched, and all that does is pull aggro away from the target. The Crypt Fiends still do not have web, so will not be able to take down that red Drake easily. Alright, final shot on that Null Brute there. Death Knight now sitting at level 3. And that is definitely going to help Lucifer in this mid-game. Blade Master now going to get to level 3 after this Null Overseer kill. And we are looking at a pretty standard straight-up game. Orc versus Undead. If the Death Knight, however, can get some easy kills. Oh, Shadowhunter taking a Death Coil, losing that Healing Salve charge, which is probably the bigger deal there, as the Shadowhunter now needs to stay alive and be extremely careful. Death Knight at 3, Lich at 1, Frost Armor doing its job, slowing down any sort of focus that the Blade Master may be able to have, as we're looking at the Blade Master here going shopping under at his Voodoo Lounge in the middle of the map. Alright, Blade Master does not want to break Windwalk. Tome of Intelligence is right there, gets picked up, and down goes that last Murloc there. Alright, let's see. Selling of some items. There is an attack there. Oh, no Orb of Lightning. Beautiful Burrow right there. And I think if that Orb of Lightning had just procced, that Crypt Fiend would have gotten taken out. A little bit unlucky for OrcWorker, but then again, perhaps in the previous game, he was just proccing that Orb of Lightning far too often, taking down free units. Lucifer should not make those same mistakes. If the Obsidian statue can stay alive and perhaps not venture out into the arms of a waiting Blade Master, he should be fine, as we are looking at an Ogre Lord now giving level 2 to a Shadowhunter once he goes down. Alright, looks like the Ogre Lord gonna get taken down right now. Wait for it. There it goes. Medallion of Courage. A nice item. Strength and Intelligence may be given to that to that Shadowhunter in just a second, as the Shadowhunter does need more hit points and needs more intelligence. Alright, no, it looks like it's going to stay on the Blade Master for a little while longer. Shadowhunter looking to take down a Red Drake. No ensnare as of yet onto that Red Drake, as that Red Drake just getting some easy damage onto the remaining units. Lich, level 2. Dark Death Knight sitting at level 3. I don't see a Dark Ranger as of yet. There we go. Spoke a little bit too soon, as Lucifer picks up that Dark Ranger to get the full trifecta of the Undead army. 3 heroes. Definitely very, very scary considering the circumstances, as the Dark Ranger able to cast silence and shut down many of the tricks that the Blade Master and Shadowhunter really need in order to fight back against the Undead. Alright, Red Drake still taking a little bit of damage. You can see he's down to below 200, and the Headhunters, oh, there's finally in the ensnare, and the remaining units do take him down. Shadowhunter picks up now a Sobi Mask and should be able to continually heal without much of a problem. Kodo Beast now trying to run for the hills, will be doing exactly that. Orc Burrow already has the fortified armor, as the Blade Master now ventures back once again. This is going to turn into a very, very sticky situation, as OrcWorker constantly repairing the barracks as Headhunters, Troll Berserkers are being trained. Alright, we are going to go into a little bit of a creepjack here. There you go. Kodo Beasts are out, and there is a bit of a flank. There's the speed scroll, as we do see an ensnare go down on a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend is upgraded 2-0, but does not have an additional armor, so it does get taken out. Meanwhile, we see a Raider now getting taken down, as the Blade Master is going after some of the additional heroes. Alright, Destroyer now absorbing a bit of mana. Another Destroyer goes into the air. As we're fighting back here, we do see a couple of skeletal minions out, as another Orc Grunt gets taken down here. Blade Master needs to really work overtime. He is silenced, but he still is a very big and very big threat to that Undead army. As you can see, that Destroyer constantly getting purged. There's the ensnare down. he really has nowhere to go and should get taken down in just a second. All right, it looks like the Destroyer will fall there. There you go. Death Knight now going to go after a Kodo Beast. Crypt Fiend now back out. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2. Is she using Black Arrow? Yes, she is using... she's using Black Arrow instead of Silence. That was actually a bit of a surprise there, as we see lesser Dark Minions just roaming around. Meanwhile, Troll Berserker -5 army, that damage is going to start adding up very, very quickly. So we're looking at a lot of heroes now. All right, 3 heroes compared to 2. Blade Master gets in 183 hit point critical strike, but quickly healed off by the level 4 Death Knight, as the units are still wandering around here. All right, Kodo Beast, very, very low on hit points, gets taken down. There's a Scroll of Town Portal, saves a Crypt Fiend, now using the Scroll of Town Portal, able to head back home. And I gotta believe Lucifer came out better in that fight there. Yeah, 29 over 60 compared to 37 over 50. Obsidian statues still being trained. You can see that those burrow Crypt Fiends are burrowed in Blight, will be able to regenerate hit points rather fast with also Unholy Aura, only level 1, so we may have Death Pack on that Death Knight. Blade Master sitting at level 4, going to be going after a Red Drake now. Let's go ahead and take him down. Not quite sure why OrcWorker has not yet ensnared that Red Drake. Would be a rather easy target to do, as you see that Blade Master is absorbing damage and not really worrying about it, as he's regenerating faster than the Red Drake can deal the damage. Shadow Hunter now with Rune Bracers is not going to get taken down very easily at all with that additional magic resistance, as Lucifer sitting at level 3, looking pretty strong on the Lich, level 4 on the Death Knight, and waiting for... I could have sworn there... Where is that Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger still not out on the field and not being resurrected. That is a surprise to me. Shadow Hunter at 3, almost level 4. Blade Master off over here is currently spotted. Let's take a look. 50 over 50 supply. And where is that Blade Master gonna go? Blade Master sitting at level 4, still has plenty of mana. There's a Dust of Appearance, not revealing anything, as the Blade Master may try to come up the ramp. No, does not know where his opponent is. And the Blade Master heading straight for this Ogre Warrior Creep Camp. Shadow Hunter may actually get to level 4 here, and perhaps level 2 Hex could be extremely useful. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Lucifer clearing up this Creep Camp here in just a second, as the Dark Ranger still not getting resurrected, sitting at 50 over 50 supply, and now finally summoning another Ziggurat. As we're crossing the 14-minute, 30-second mark in this game, Headhunters now retreating back. Only one red creep camp left, and even then the Ogre Lord is not there. Skeletal Minions looking to finish off this Voodoo Lounge. Blade Master goes after a Frost-armored Skeletal Minion, and that Blade Master having a very easy time just getting a little bit of bonus experience once more. All right, another Skeletal Minion makes its way in, and are we going to see him take down this Voodoo Lounge? Yes, I believe we will. Headhunters ready to go. Kodo Beast now ready to go. Blade Master attempting to take down an Ogre Magi. It looks like it could get taken down here in just a second. There you have it. And the Blade Master still sitting at level 4 with a Shadow Hunter at level 4. Dark Ranger resurrected, currently sitting at level 2. Dark Ranger with good amount of mana as well. Death Knight very, very nearby. Lich, so it is a 4-3-2 compared to, I believe, a 4-4. And is the Blade Master going to be able to finish things off? The Blade Master could have gotten perhaps some easy damage onto that Obsidian statue, taking it down, and there you go, but no Purge. So this is one of those instances where Purge would have made a tremendous difference in taking down that Obsidian statue, and the cards are just not falling for OrcWorker this time. All right, there you have it. The Blade Master trying to get in position. There is that Purge finally, and down goes that Obsidian statue, able to just sneak away once more. Blade Master sitting at level 4 and may try to go after another Obsidian statue. Obsidian statues, as you remember, only have 550 hit points, so they are relatively easy to take out if you are not careful. Troll Berserkers being added. No upgrades on those Berserkers. Meanwhile, Crypt Fiends are upgraded 2-0. No sign of any additional upgrades, but those upgrades will make a very, very big difference here in just a second. +3 damage, all right, for the Troll Berserker. So it looks like upgrades are now finally coming through. 24 to 32 damage with +3 damage from those War Drums. Crypt Fiends now ready to go. Shadow Hunter, Blade Master, looking for what their next target is going to be. The Medallion of Courage, very, very useful on that Shadow Hunter right now. Extra hit points, extra mana, exactly what the doctor ordered. Shadow Hunter pretty much balanced in terms of all of his base stats right now. I'm not quite sure if that's the tomes or that is how he levels. Meanwhile, the Troll Berserkers are 1/1 upgrades, sitting at 60/70 supply, and now we are looking also at a Tauren Chieftain. If the Tauren Chieftain, say, grabs... No, it looks like he grabbed either Stomp or Shockwave. If he grabs Endurance Aura, that is going to be a very big problem, as the auras generally scale much better the larger your army is. Since it is making a bonus effect of all units within range, that means that the Tauren Chieftain will be able to attack faster and deal more damage for every unit on the field, and that just becomes a very, very big problem for anyone to deal with. However, Lucifer, if anyone can deal with it, Lucifer can. Blade Master is off in the shadows, just wind walking, taking a look at what's going on here. We see Abominations being added by Lucifer, and that is definitely going to help with the destruction of not only the Troll Berserkers that you're looking at here, but also the Raiders, both units having medium armor. All right. Crypt Fiends still wandering around. Back off over here. Blade Master is still looking for a free and easy kill. Doesn't find one. And the Blade Master is now going to come down to the south here. Perhaps take a look at what's going on and notice that there's not much he can really do. Gold, we are now down to about 2.5 minutes left of gold on both of these bases. And with 2.5 minutes left, with no one really trying to take an expansion, this may be the army that you're looking at the end game. 68/70 compared to 70/70. OrcWorker has a slight advantage here. Will he be able to translate that, as the Tauren Chieftain is still sitting at level 1? And that perhaps is the biggest shame. A level 1 Tauren Chieftain without Endurance Aura, not nearly as strong. All right, Destroyer going after, getting purged by that Blade Master fairly easily. Now finally making its way off to the right-hand side of the map. Lich ready to go. Destroyer ready to go. Blade Master is right here, ready to go. Dark Ranger simply walks through the army, and the Dark Ranger still... I'm trying to keep track of that Blade Master. All right, a little bit of a lull here. No one really deciding what to do with their army. They're just both trying to get in the proper position. And now finally the Blade Master is engaging, reveals himself, doesn't do any serious damage whatsoever, and decides to back off. All right, Blade Master running all the way back home. There are those Tauren Chieftains. Those are those Troll Berserkers. Are we ready to go? Blade Master is sitting right in the front, ready for the fight. Meanwhile, we see Obsidian statues now taking up front and center stage. A little bit more healing coming in, and Lucifer should be able to convert that Obsidian statue into a Devourer. And there you go. There's some absorbed mana. There's some more absorbed mana. There's some more absorbed mana, and it is now out of mana. 3 Destroyers in the air, ready to go, pretty much with nearly maximum mana. And this fight is going to be difficult for the Orc. All right, let's take a look at this. 3 Destroyers, 2 of them with mana, meaning that they are going to be dealing a lot of splash damage to a lot of these units here. All right, here's the engagement, and there you have it. The Crypt Fiends are now coming in. There is a beautiful destroy or devour magic there. Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble. We're taking a look at both sides fighting, and the Death Knight is still keeping some units alive. All right, there is a stomp there. Death Knight now in a serious bit of trouble. Does have a potion of mana though, down to 117. He gets taken down. Dark Ranger is still all that's left, and that Lich. Perhaps the Lich and the Dark Ranger will be able to finish things off. It looks as though the Dark Ranger, sitting at level 3, still taking a very big beating, but still trying to hang in there. As the Blade Master now comes back in, and there is the GG. Lucifer losing game number 2, and OrcWorker taking game number 2. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for game 3.